is standing here in his first season for a fee of €15,000 by champion sire Dubawi, and out of a stakes winning Dancily mare in Come Alive. That's the same cross as the Group 1 winning Neswa and the young Stallion Time Test, the sire of last year's Group 2 Beresford winner Crypto Force. So as a racehorse, Naval Crown was in training with Charlie Appleby, and at the age of 2 he won the Convivial Maiden Stakes at York's Ebor meeting by 4.5 lengths. He was also group placed over the mile and 7 furlongs in France. He beat Master of the Seas by nearly 2 lengths in a stakes race at Meydan as a 3-year-old, and the Naval Crown went on to finish 4th in the 2,000 guineas at Newmarket, and that's exactly the same placing as his own sire Dubawi achieved in the same race. Naval Crown's first trip to Royal Ascot resulted in a 2nd place in the Jersey Stakes, and that was only when he was beaten by the Group 1 winner Creative Force. And just like his sire Dubawi, he improved again as a 4-year-old. After winning a Group 2 over 7 furlongs in Dubai, they decided to revert to sprinting with him. He finished 4th in the Group 1 Alquoz Sprint, having his first try at 6 furlongs. And it was then that we got to see the best of Naval Crown, as he then headed to Royal Ascot, where he won the Group 1 Platinum Jubilee. In the process that day, he beat 23 rivals, ploughing his own furrow up the near side rail, doing it the hard way. And of those 23 rivals, we got to see some of the best sprinting types in the field that day. With his tail. In the Platinum Jubilee, he beat the likes of Creative Force, Artorias, Campanelle, Highfield Princess, Kinross, Alcohol Free, Minzal, Emirati Anna, just to name a few, and these horses would go on to take Europe's top sprint races in the coming weeks and months and in their careers. It really is the best piece of sprinting form you will have seen in recent times, and this lad beat them all that day at Royal Ascot. He followed up that victory in the Group 1 July Cup, where he finished 2nd to Alcohol Free, the multiple Group 1 winning mare. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Naval Crown for you new this year, and the only 6 furlong Group 1 winning son of Dubawi standing in Europe. Next up for you, we have another son of Dubawi, this time Space Blues, shown by John here today. A Godolphin homebred. Space Blues is out of the 7 furlong Group 2 winner Miss Lucifer, who is from the female family of Dubawi himself and In the Wings. Space Blues was a brilliant performer on the track. He won 11 of his 19 starts, including 6 at group level, and continually showed his versatility as a racehorse. Some of his career highlights include a thrilling win in the Group 1 Breeders' Cup Mile at Delmar, an easy triumph in the Group 1 Prix de Forêt at Longchamp's Arc meeting, where he beat Kinross that day, who went on to win the same race 12 months later. As a 4-year-old, he won the Group 1 Prix Maurice de Guise, which made him the champion older sprinter in France that year. And you can also add to his CV the 7 furlong Group 2 City of York Stakes, and that may have been a Group 2, but it looks a terrific piece of world-class form, given that he beat none other than Highfield Princess by a length and a half, and of course she went on to win 3 Group 1 sprints last season. Time form have Space Blues rated as 125. He was an unbeaten juvenile, and he won at Glorious Goodwood. He won at the Epsom Derby meeting, and in Saudi Arabia too, when taking a valuable turf sprint over there. All these victories showing how versatile he was, track, trip and country. He is just about to embark on his 2nd season at Kildangan. He covered an excellent first book of mares, which included close relations of speedy Group 1 winners such as Supremacy, Whizkid, the Tin Man, Acclaim, Profitable, Tuamore, Emirati Anna and Havana Gold. Space Blues is standing for €16,000 in his 2nd season here at Kildangan Stud in 2023. Dubawi's 3-time Group 1 winner, Space Blues. Thank you very much. Next up for you we have Profitable, shown by Mick. Here is Profitable, bred by Con Harrington, standing for a fee of €9,000 in 2023. Profitable is one of Ireland's leading young speed stallions. In his racing career, he was trained by Clive Cox, and his biggest day came at the Royal Meeting at Ascot when taking the 5 furlong Group 1 Kingsstand Stakes, beating a top-class international field in the process. Profitable really was blisteringly fast on the track, and he comes from a very speedy family too. His dam won over both 5 and 6 furlongs, and rather incredibly had 10 winning foals have all won over sprint trips. So as a result of all that speed and the speed that he showed on the track and on his pedigree page, it is no surprise that his first runners have shown the same aptitude for speed. His first crop included the Group 2 Queen Mary winner Quick Susie over 5 furlongs in 2021, and they then trained on to include 2 group winning 3-year-olds last year in Mick Bahi and Miramar. Profitable was the only stallion in Europe in 2022 to have more than one 3-year-old group winner at 6 furlongs or less. He had 23 individual 3-year-old winners in Europe at 6 furlongs or less, and the only other stallion to achieve that was Ghaiyyath, who notched up 24, but from many more runners. Profitable's second crop have also starred on the track. They are led by the French Group 2 winner Wed, and a 5 furlong stakes performer Disillusion, as well as Kurdos, who was one for the notebook after 2 impressive victories from as many starts for Clive Cox. And as for that trivia question of which Kildangan Stallion sired more than 50 juvenile winners in the past 2 years, more than his sire and more than any of his sire's many stallion sons, well, the answer is this lad in front of you, Profitable. Produces precocious, fast types, and they have proven already that they can train on too. He remains incredibly popular in the ring. His yearlings last year made up to 150,000 guineas with a long list of buyers that included trainers such as his own Clive Cox, Richard Fahy and the Johnsons too. That is Profitable, ladies and gentlemen, one of Ireland's purest forms of speed available to breeders on the market.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
Next up for you, we have another young stallion in Earthlight. This lad by Shamardal out of Winter's Moon is a 6-year-old now. He was bred by Godolphin and he was trained in France by Andre Fabre, and he was really one of my favourites when he was in training. A top-class crack juvenile who went unbeaten in 5 starts at the age of 2. He won on debut in June at Maison de Fleet, and then he just built and built on every run thereafter. He went and took a conditions race at Deauville, followed up in a Group 3 at Deauville, and then won the Group 1 Prix Morny, where he beat Golden Horn, Arizona and Ayali that day, all top-class horses in their own right. His final race as a 2-year-old was in the Middle Park at Newmarket, where again he won, beating Golden Horn in his typical come-from-behind style and in a course record time. Earthlight went on to notch up a further Group 2 victory as a 3-year-old, but was only narrowly beaten by one master in the Group 1 Prix Forêt at Longchamp. Since he retired to stud, he's been very, very popular here at Kildangan with over 200 quality mares in foal. And that confidence has really been transferred to the sales ring with a 94% clearance rate with his first foals. That's the highest of any first season sire in Europe, with 5 or more foals offered. With a €60,000 average, 26 of his first foals made at least 2 times his current fee and have been brought by some of the most respected judges in the business. Earthlight also boasts a world-class pedigree. By Shamardal, as I said, his dam Winter's Moon was Group 1 placed as a juvenile herself and is a half-sister to 2 Group 1 winners. That is Earthlight, ladies and gentlemen, standing for a fee of €15,000, breeding to the champion juvenile this season. really will give you the opportunity to follow his first two impressive crops on the track. And having seen there four of our younger stallions here at Kildangan Stud, we now have a couple of more proven types for you to look at.
Nasıl bir besleme programımız?
Var mı göstereyim sana inşallah.
Here is the first of them, the 19-year-old Teofilo, who I think we can all agree looks nothing like a 19-year-old. He's in excellent condition and remains one of the top-class stallions here in Ireland. He stands for €30,000 and his racing career was bred by Jim Bolger and trained by Jim Bolger. He was the champion by Galileo out of the Danehill there, undefeated winner of the Group 1 National Stakes and the Group 1 Ghaiyyath Stakes, and the European champion 2-year-old of his generation. Ever since his first crop race, he's been one of Ireland's premier stallions. Each and every one of his first 11 bred crops has had a Group 1 winner. That's an unbroken feat no other active stallion can match. And he is one of only 7 stallions to have done this after both his sire Galileo and grandfather Stallion as well as US grades Mr. Prospector and AP Indy, the Japanese stars Deep Impact, and our very own Shamardal, so he keeps illustrious company. Teofilo is very close to siring 200 stakes performers, whilst his 23 individual Group 1 winners have won some of the world's best races. That includes the Irish Derby, the Irish 1000 Guineas, the Irish St Ledger, the Dewhurst, the Ascot Gold Cup and the Melbourne Cup twice, just showing how versatile his offspring is. 2-year-olds all the way through to older horses, different tracks, trips and countries, they can do it all. Teofilo's daughters are now breeding the winners of elite races as well. He had an excellent 2022 as a broodmare sire. He was the broodmare sire of the 2000 Guineas winner Caribus, the 1000 Guineas heroine Cachet, a classic winner in Germany and multiple Group 1 winning filly Dream Loca. Teofilo's yearlings continue to be in high demand. They average €111,000 in 2022 and his highest price two fetches 300,000 guineas and 260,000 guineas, selling to Joseph O'Brien and the Dolphin respectively. That is Teofilo, ladies and gentlemen, a stallion creating a lasting influence on the breed through himself, his sire line, and now his daughters as well. We have another proven stallion for you next, the one that has represented excellent value over the years and continues to do so, because this will be Raven's Pass for you. Here comes Raven's Pass, an 18-year-old now, but again, as fit as a fiddle and looks in excellent condition and continues to remain one of the real value stallions available to breeders in Ireland in terms of the established team. He stands for a fee of €7,500. For anyone who needs reminding of his racing career, he was trained by John Gosden, and many of you will remember his epic tussles with Henry the Navigator, getting the best of that rival a few times and victorious in the Group 1 Queen Elizabeth II Stakes at Ascot and the Group 1 Breeders' Cup Classic at Cantonita.
Raven's Pass.
Since retiring to Kildangan, he produces 8% stakes winners to runners, numbers that very few other stallions can match. And his best so far include the likes of the Irish trained Group 1 winning sprinter Romantic Proposal, added another stakes race to the CV at the age of 6 last season, champion sprinter Tower of London, who stands on the Darley roster in Japan, Group 1 winning juvenile Royal Marine, and the versatile Matterhorn, victorious in turf stakes races and all-weather championship races in England, plus a Group 1 on the turf in mainland. Again, just advertising the versatility of Raven's Pass offspring. Raven's Pass can also reward you in the sales ring. In 2022 alone, he had a €120,000 juvenile and a €90,000 yearling. Raven's Pass is also a burgeoning broodmare sire, Mishriff and Saffron Beach, are his headline acts. There is also young stallion Kessar and 2022 stakes winner Saracen Knight, Dubai Legend, and Time Flow in there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a great value race pass. Now you get to see one of the most exciting stallions standing here in Ireland, and specifically here at Kildangan, because this is Blue Point. He will have his first crop racing for him this coming season, something we're all very excited about. This is the 4-time Group 1 winning sprinter, Blue Point. Trained by Charlie Appleby's by Shamardal out of Scala Rose, and on the track he was a true Royal Ascot specialist. He became only the second horse in 85 years to win successive Kingsstand stakes, and when he backed up his second Kingsstand win 4 days later in the Diamond Jubilee, he emulated a double that has only been achieved twice in the past 100 years, advertising his constitution, his love of racing and his versatility all at the same time. Don't forget he also landed the Group 2 Gym Crack by 3 lengths as a juvenile. He broke a track record at Ascot as a 3-year-old. He took the Group 1 Alcohol Sprint in his final season racing too. He retired to Kildangan Stud, and he's been very, very popular. He covered over 500 mares in his first 3 seasons, and his first crop sold well last year as yearlings. 78 sold for an average of €112,000, with 30 of those making 6 figures. And buyers included some of the biggest and best names in the business, all keen to get their hands on Blue Point's offspring. Some of the trainers who will be training the Blue Point progeny this coming season include the likes of Richard Hannon. You must have loved them because he's got 6 in training. Blue Point's own trainer, Charlie Appleby, has 5, and Charlie, Johnson, George Bowie and the Crisfords all have 4 in their yards. Other trainers with Blue Point's progeny to train this season include the likes of Richard Fahy, Andrew Balding, Andre Fabre, Clive Cox, the Gosdens and Jean-Claude Rouget. You really do have some of the best names in the business on your side if you're backing Blue Point to be champion first season sire, which he could well be. He stands here for €35,000 in 2023, and as I say, he would like the candidate for top honours in the first season sire table this coming year. The next stallion we have for you really is one of the hottest stallions in Europe right now. This here is Knight of Thunder. Bred by the late Frank Dunn, Knight of Thunder stands here for €100,000 and was an undefeated listed winner as a 2-year-old. He won a 2,000 guineas that's rated by Timeform as the best renewal since 1971 when Brigadier Gerard beat Lil Reed. And he backed up that 2,000 guineas win by coming out as a 4-year-old and taking a second Group 1 victory in the Lockage Stakes at Newbury. Since retiring to the Stallion sheds, he really has been a revelation for the team here. His first crop is simply outstanding. Bred in 2017, it includes a 22% stakes winners to runners, a much higher figure than both his sides, Bawi and Peru mare side Galileo, achieved in their first crops. The real star of that crop is the amazing sprinter Highfield Princess, who carried all before her in 2022, winning the Group 1 Prix Morrison East, the Group 1 Nunthorpe Stakes less than 2 weeks later, and then added a further Group 1 when taking the Flying 5 at the Curragh on Irish Champions Weekend. His first crop raced as juveniles last season and included Newmarket Group 2 winner Isaac Shelby and the Irish trained stakes winner Maui Wowie, as well as the hugely impressive Slip of the Pen, who was a debutant winner at Kempton in November to the Gosden Yard and is high up in the betting for the Epsom Derby. His fifth crop will race this season, and it could be a very exciting year for Knight of Thunder. They were conceived off the back of his impressive start, and they're his biggest and best crop to date. The market certainly agreed with that. His yearlings averaged 225,000 50,000, and that's over 9 times their conception fee, and that included the likes of an 800,000 guineas buy, 650,000 guineas buy, etc., etc. That is Night of Thunder, ladies and gentlemen, a stallion on everyone's lips from the influential Darley Ireland, and bred on the same Galileo mare cross as Ghaiyyath, who you'll see very shortly. I think we can all agree that 2023 is going to be a very special year for Night of Thunder. Say goodbye to Night of Thunder. We will soon be welcoming Ghaiyyath. I know many of you will be very keen to see. Here comes the imposing Ghaiyyath, an absolute beauty to look at. By Dubai out of Galileo mare night time. Ghaiyyath is standing for €25,000 in his 3rd season at Stud. He's proving popular, and you can see why. You can look at him all day long. He was a beauty from the off, really, because he cost 1.1 million as a foal. He was the most expensive foal in Europe that year. He's Dubai's highest rated son with a time form rating of 133, and he carried all before him as an older horse, winning a trio of Group 1s with effortless ease from the front as a 5-year-old. He broke the Newmarket track record in the rerouted Coronation Cup. He beat a Naval over 2 lengths in the Eclipse at Sandown, and he took the Juddmonte International by 3 lengths at York, beating Magical, Lord North and Kamiko, all those horses Group 1 performers in their own right and out of the very top draw. The previous season he posted one of the best performances Germany has ever seen in the Group 1 Grosse Prise von Baden, when winning that by 14 lengths in an absolute rout. And it's fair to say that Ghaiyyath has the pedigree to match his ability and unbelievable good looks. From the fashionable Dubai Stallion and out of Galileo's first classic winner night time, this is the same cross as Night of Thunder as you've just seen. And as you can imagine, Ghaiyyath's popularity is rising all the time. He covered more mares in his 2nd crop than he did in his 1st, totaling over 300 mares in 2 seasons. And his first foals hit the sales ring late last year were very well received. 21 of 23 offered found new homes for €115,000 average, and that's the highest for any Irish-based first season sire. They included Shadwell going to 375,000 guineas for a daughter of his. JR Bloodstock paid 250,000 guineas for a colt out of School Run, and Pier House spending €185,000 for a colt out of the Cape Cross mare Cross My Mind, one of 2 they brought for an average of €165,000. Other buyers include the likes of Tally Ho, Peter and Ross Doyle, Blanford Bloodstock and Glenvale Stud. The best names in the business all wanted to get their hands on Ghaiyyath's first foal, and you can see why when looking at him. He has the looks, the pedigree page, the ability, and the form in the book as well. The early crops make him look like he's going to be a top-class stallion prospect. And as Ghaiyyath, ladies and gentlemen, you can take one last look at. If you missed any of the stallions, or if you do want to see any of them